And welcome back. So the Inkatha Freedom Party is hosting its Ethekwini Regional Manifesto launch at the King Zwelithini Stadium in Durban. Our reporter Ntando is now joining us from there live. Ntando, very good morning. Thank you so much for making time for us this morning. Tell us about what the atmosphere is like there. And also, are there any concerns that are being raised around election-related violence, specifically in KwaZulu-Natal?
Good morning to you, Aldrin, and to our viewers at home. Well, to answer or respond to your question, there hasn't been any threats or concerns that have been raised thanks to the swift, proactiveness of the security cluster in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, led by Lieutenant General Ntando Mkhwanazi, who's the Provincial Police Commissioner. You would know that not so long ago we had political parties coming to sign an agreement to say that they will behave, ahead of the elections, during the elections, and after the elections, so that we see no politically related violence in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. Today, the Inkatha Freedom Party is at King Zwelithini Stadium in Umlazi, one of the oldest and largest townships in KwaZulu-Natal, to continue trying to garner support in the electorate ahead of the elections, which is just 10 days away from now. But let me bring into this conversation the Ethekwini councillor for the IFP, Mdu Nkosi. Mdu Nkosi, thank you very much for your time. Kindly tell us, as the IFP, the days are closing in before the elections. Do you believe you've done enough? We understand that you are the official opposition in KwaZulu-Natal with 13 seats in the provincial legislature. You are the fourth largest party in the country. Have you done enough to ensure that you emerge victorious come May 29?
Thank you. We have done enough, but we are still going to continue to ensure that day by day we campaign, we are all out. Every Monday our NEC is here. Every day our volunteers are all out in Ethekwini. And the response that we are getting from the people of Ethekwini, it's very, very encouraging, because they've got so many issues. As you reside in Ethekwini, people in Ethekwini can stay without water for some months, for some days, some weeks. So all those things, even officials who are working for the municipality are not happy. Ratepayers are not happy. So they need IFP. Today, we are going to even have Long Taxi Association coming here. They are saying we are supporting you, Mpemba. You are the only hope in KwaZulu-Natal to keep us, to take us out in this situation where we are. Even short distance, they will be here. Everyone. So we are so grateful that people are now thinking positively, and we so hope that IEC will do justice, because people will always complain that members of the IEC, those who are employed by IEC, sometimes they are shenanigans. We do have also something tangible for local government, whereby someone was caught trying to rig the elections in the south area. So we are hoping that this time around they will use their hearts to say, let us not discourage people of South Africa, because it's one of those things that make people not to go to vote.
Mdu Nkosi, it is no secret that the National Executive Committee of the ANC, which is the ruling party here in KwaZulu-Natal, fielded its senior leaders, the likes of Thabo Mbeki, the former president, Gwede Mantashe was here, the Secretary General, Fikile Mbalula, was also here to try, even the president himself, he was here, he was in the Nkosi Bambata region, in Greytown not so long ago, and here in Durban and in Pietermaritzburg. Also the emergence of Umkhonto weSizwe, would you say that has had a knock-on effect in your support base ahead of the elections? Because prior to the prominence of Umkhonto weSizwe, you were certain that you will take the province of KwaZulu-Natal, apart from being a member of a multi-party charter here in the province of KwaZulu-Natal.
Well, let me start addressing the issue of the ANC top leadership. They will tell you that when they do door-to-door with their volunteers, people are chasing them away. They are tired. The Ethekwini is the only metro that we have in Ethekwini. People don't have jobs. People have realized that now the only thing that they need to do is to remove ANC from the power. Ethekwini is controlling billions. but look what is happening around the city. So when they come with the president, that does not worry us, because when we do door-to-door, we have now areas where we were not existing previously, and people who are going to be here, Chesterville, you name it, all the areas, even where it was a stronghold of the ANC, but people are now supporting us. With regard to the MK is not eating from us. It's eating largely from the ANC. Well, they've got also their own issues among themselves. We don't have to worry ourselves with them. But what we are doing is to ensure that we're campaigning every day, so then people of KwaZulu-Natal will get leadership that will give hope to them.
Let's talk about political tolerance and politically related violence in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. For the longest of time, there were heightened emotions in between the ANC and the IFP. There was no tolerance, none whatsoever. Ahead of the elections, as the IFP, how are you viewing the temperature of the province of KwaZulu-Natal in terms of political violence? We are in Umlazi. There is the infamous Cleveland's Hostel, which is notorious of housing, amongst others, people who are perceived as hitmen. As the IFP, how are you viewing the issue of political violence ahead of the elections here in the province of KwaZulu-Natal?
It's still there. We cannot deny that. For example, we plan to have a tournament in Watwane and Waklimba. We couldn't, because ANC just decided also to have their own tournament, and they disrupted our own. So there are also those areas which are notorious, the no-go areas. But we have been there as well. People are there. They are going to vote for us. They might not be out to be visible, but they are saying they are tired of the ANC. And as leadership of the IFP, our provincial leadership, the premier candidate, Mr. Tamintul, is always encouraging our members and our leaders to say, let us ensure that we ignore those people who want to start violence, but focusing in what people want. Give the message of hope to the people. And once we take power, I know for sure, look what he have done in King Zwelithini. I know for sure people want to see Sompisi being the Premier of KwaZulu-Natal. So we discourage anyone who is still thinking that the violence is the only solution. People in this time around, they wanted to exercise their powers through the votes.
Thank you very much, Mdu Nkosi.
Thank you so much.
Well, that is Mdu Nkosi, who is the councillor of the IFP in the Ethekwini region. Ahead of the elections, he says there are those remnants of political intolerance, as he says that there are areas which are now, for lack of a better phrase, no-go zones. As he says, they have tried to host certain tournaments in some parts of Ethekwini, and they were chased away. They were told not to enter into those areas. But he says that as the IFP, they are practicing maximum amount of tolerance ahead of the May 29 elections. With that, it's back to you for now, Aldrin.